All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Swamp. And let's watch a Metal Gear anime. I found this, and so far, it's freaking awesome. It's really interesting. This is all AI-generated stuff, which I know so many people immediately get turned off when you say AI. But I'm telling you, with how good this is, it really opens the door for a lot of cool potential for this type of stuff. So this is an account, a channel that I just found called Loresmith on YouTube. And this anime series that they started, so it says in the description, and there's 5 episodes out so far, each about 10 minutes. Oh man, the last one's 30 minutes, so we might not watch all of them, but I thought it'd be fun to watch some of them at least. It says, so the first one is the prologue. This video covers the prologue of the original 1987 Metal Gear video game for the MSX, made into a more narrative experience. A journey through the shadows of espionage where the intrigue of Outer Heaven begins to unfold. And this is the first stream I've done since completely rebuilding and redoing my whole setup here in the office, in the studio space, and I can already tell I'm gonna have to move this microphone because this is not working at all. This does not feel right. Anyway, that's something I'll do later. But seriously, it's pretty cool. I mean, the images of this thing created, and it's done in the style that I like, which is, 80s and 90s anime, not the, more from the films, from some 80s, 90s Mobile Suit Gundam, and then the movies, Akira, and the classics, the classic stuff, man. Yeah, let's full screen it, man. I'm telling you, if you like Metal Gear at all, this will definitely be sweet. Even if you don't like Metal Gear, though, or if you never, as you said, Mothman, you never even played them, it's still pretty cool to realize that this is all AI generated. The voices are all AI generated. The animations AI generated. The only thing that was not AI generated, which made me think that I could get away with doing this without having any problems, because there's no copyright on any of it. But they took sound effects and some of the music, like other people's remixes of the original soundtrack. So it's got some Metal Gear music and stuff, but I think I can play some of that and it won't be a problem. Like I said, everything else is all AI generated, so the art's not copyrighted, and it should be all good. I think the potential of this is pretty amazing.
Have you heard the latest about Outer Heaven? Only whispers. They say something's being built there. Something big. It's more than just whispers now. Our intel suggests it could be a new kind of weapon.
Excuse me, Generals. We've just received new satellite imagery. It seems there's increased activity in Outer Heaven.
Look at these fortifications. This place is turning into a fortress. What could they possibly be hiding? Whatever it is, we can't ignore it. This could change the balance of power in the region.
In the shadowed corners of international politics, where the threat of war simmered like a latent beast, the year 1995 marked an unsettling whisper that rippled through the Western powers. It was a rumor at first, a specter of a fear, that within the impenetrable walls of Outer Heaven, something monstrous was stirring. Outer Heaven, a name spoken in hushed tones, was no ordinary foe. Founded in the late 1980s, some 200 kilometers north of Galsburg, South Africa, stood as a testament to military prowess, secretly forged by mercenaries of no affiliation. The name evoked both awe and dread. This fortress, a heavily fortified state, was an enigma, a sovereign power unto itself, a haven for soldiers without a cause. The intelligence that trickled into the corridors of power in Washington spoke of a weapon, not just any weapon, but one capable of shifting the delicate balance of global power, a weapon of mass destruction. As details emerged, it became clear that this was no mere rumor. Something was being built in the heart of outer heaven, something that threatened to eclipse the fears of a nuclear age.
We've gathered here to discuss a matter of urgent national security. Recent intelligence suggests that outer heaven is no longer just a rogue state. They're developing a weapon, one that could drastically shift global power dynamics.
What kind of weapon are we talking about?
Details are still sketchy, but our sources indicate it's a weapon of mass destruction, unlike anything we've seen before. This could be a game changer. We need to know exactly what we're dealing with. Which is why we're recommending immediate reconnaissance. We need eyes on the ground. Outer heaven is a fortress. Infiltration won't be easy. That's why we're considering deploying Foxhound.
If anyone can get in and out undetected, it's them. Authorize the mission.
Very well. I'll relay the orders.
Like I said, this is the prologue. So, it's kind of before the story, but this is wild, man. All the voices and everything, all AI. And yeah, it doesn't have, full on animation, but the potential is unreal. It won't be long. I mean, they have little bits of animation here and there where the AI takes the generated image and puts movement on it, just some slight stuff. But with how fast all this stuff has been, progressing over the last, even just the last 7 or 8 months, let alone the last 2 years, it won't be long before it will actually be creating full on, like you could put in the script of Metal Gear Solid 1 and give it to an AI and just say, hey, yeah, make this into an anime. And it'll do it.
The situation in Outer Heaven demands our immediate attention. We've been tasked with a reconnaissance mission to ascertain their capabilities, especially regarding the rumored weapon.
We need our best on this. Gray Fox, step forward. Ready for the mission, sir.
Your objective is to infiltrate Outer Heaven, gather intel on the weapon, and report back. Absolute stealth is crucial. You're going in alone.
You're one of our finest, Fox. We have every confidence in your abilities. I won't let you down.
I'm sorry, he's one of our finest.
Everything
what's?
you need is in here. Departure is at 0600 hours.
Gray Fox, a specter in his own right, was no stranger to the dark underbelly of covert operations. His skills were unparalleled, his resolve unbreakable. The infiltration was a thing of beauty, a dance of shadows and silence. Gray Fox moved through Outer Heaven with the grace of a ghost, his presence undetected. The first building of the fortress yielded its secrets slowly. He charted the labyrinth of corridors, the sweep of the inner courtyard, the unblinking eyes of cameras, and the silent sentinels of guards. He procured weapons and equipment, card keys, rations, blades, tools of the trade for those who lived in this world of espionage and conflict. But as he delved deeper into the belly of Outer Heaven, Gray Fox stumbled upon a revelation that chilled him to the bone.
This is it.
The whispers were true. There, in the heart of darkness, was the genesis of a new Metal Gear. A creation that held the power to render nations ground zero.
Metal Gear.
The details were scarce, the full picture elusive, but the implications were clear. This was no ordinary weapon. This was something new, something terrifying. In a desperate bid to relay his findings, Gray Fox reached out to Foxhound. His message was fragmented, a puzzle shrouded in urgency and fear.
This is Gray Fox. I've located the weapon. I can confirm it has advanced nuclear capabilities. Codename Metal Gear TX-55. It's capable of... I have to move. Sending images now.
The transmission crackled with the weight of his discovery, his voice a harbinger of a new kind of war.
This way! Freeze!
Commander, we're receiving a transmission from Gray Fox.
This is Fox. I've looked... Weapon. I can confirm it has... Metal Gear TX-55. He found the weapon. Metal Gear.
Can we get a clearer transmission? We need more details.
To move. Send it now.
We've lost the signal. I can't re-establish connection.
Damn it, we've lost contact. Gray Fox is in danger.
We need to prepare for a contingency plan. This mission just became a rescue operation.
We've just lost contact with our operative in Outer Heaven. His last transmission included images and data suggesting the development of a new kind of weapon, codenamed Metal Gear TX-55.
The implications of this are severe. If Outer Heaven has developed a weapon capable of changing the course of war, we need to act. Do we have any plans for a direct intervention?
A direct assault on Outer Heaven would be costly. We need to consider all our options.
Any approach we take must be carefully calculated. Outer Heaven's defenses are formidable, and we can't forget the political implications. A misstep here could escalate into a larger conflict.
We need more intelligence, and we need to consider the possibility of a covert operation to retrieve or neutralize this Metal Gear.
We'll coordinate with our assets in the region. Time is of the essence.
Let's move forward with utmost caution. The world is watching, and we cannot afford any mistakes.
Metal Gear. Those words uttered in a mix of awe and dread were his last before the line went dead. In that moment, Gray Fox's fate became as much a mystery as the weapon he had uncovered. Captured or killed, his fate was unknown. But his warning had been sounded. In the hallowed halls of power, the name Metal Gear echoed, a harbinger of a new era of warfare. And in the heart of Outer Heaven, the gears of war continued to turn, unfettered and unchallenged, at least for now.
There you go, the prologue. I always come across people online all the time that just rip on this AI stuff and say it's stupid. That was genuinely fantastic. I mean, no joke. Anyone who's played Metal Gear knows that they do stuff just like that in some of the later games to catch you up on the story. I mean, tons of games do that, like Mass Effect did that with the graphic novel type thing with the narration over it, with the music to get you caught up on the story if you didn't play the other games. It's pretty amazing to consider that all of this was AI generated. I don't know. I think it's cool. Obviously. And so I've already watched these first 2 episodes. So I watched that one and I watched this next one. And the next one, this is where it gets really crazy because they're able to use... There's AI models, you know, for like Solid Snake, the main guy, and Big Boss. Like there's AI voice models out there of those voice actors, so they can use them. And this is the thing that a lot of people have in Hollywood and stuff have been, I guess, complaining about, saying, you know, people are just gonna be able to use my voice, and that's true. So I mean, there's definitely a we're gonna have to learn like where the line is with copyright and stuff with this, legally speaking, as as this stuff develops. But that's no different than any other major technology. There's always new questions about what how all that stuff works. But from a purely fan perspective, purely fan perspective, it's bringing the power to the fans. This is a fan created project where it's taking the original story from the 1987, the first Metal Gear game, before Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, I named this Metal Gear Solid, but technically it's Metal Gear. But Metal Gear Solid that's the name to me, because that's the first game I played. But yeah, this is just a fan created project through AI. I mean, it's pretty unbelievable. And to be able to bring it into a whole new medium like this, into an anime type feel that anyone could watch, where you don't have to have played the games and you can enjoy it, seems pretty cool to me, man. So here we go. So that was the prologue. This is episode 1, and you can see here it's like I said, it's from Loresmith, this channel on YouTube, and they're doing other stuff as well. They've got this Metal Gear series, but they're also doing, I assume they're going to do a whole bunch of them since they start. It's a brand new channel, started 8 months ago. There's these Tekken ones, so like backstories. Tekken anime lore series King, Tekken anime lore series Nina Williams, Paul Phoenix. Like, this is a really, like, the potential of this is awesome. Like, this is really cool. Like, I'm much more of a Metal Gear guy, but I did play Tekken a lot when I was younger. And these are, let's say, so this is 17 minutes long. Like, they're like full show episodes. Like, so, there was one that was like 27 minutes long. Like
his existence. Instead, he embraced the teachings of the church, finding solace in faith and purpose in
taking the backstories of characters that people already love and then giving it some art, like in a story. I mean, that's freaking cool. But anyway, let's go on to the next episode. Yeah, that's kind of funny. What are the odds that was the part I jumped to? Embracing the church. I agree. Good advice. Okay, so yeah, that was the prologue, and now it says here in the description. So this is actually where the 1987 Metal Gear video game starts.
In the muted glow of dawn, a soldier stands poised at the brink of a mission that will define his legacy. David was a child of many homes, molded by the United States foster system. His path led him from the Green Berets to the sands of Western Iraq during the Gulf War, where he became more than just a soldier. Joining Big Boss's elite Foxhound unit, he was reborn as Solid Snake. Trained in the arts of survival, linguistics, and combat by Big Boss himself, Snake's skills were honed to near perfection. Yet his real name and origins remained shrouded under national security. As a rookie in Foxhound, Snake's first real mission would be a task that will test every skill imparted upon him. Under the watchful eye of Big Boss, laden with immense expectations, this mission is poised to unleash a series of events that will irrevocably shape the young rookie's destiny for years to come. Big Boss stood across from...
To be fair, those last few shots were not AI. That was actual art. That kind of feels like cheating if you're making AI generated art. Those last few hits they did.
Years to come.
Yeah, that one, this one, that's actually art from the series. That kind of feels like cheating. Come on, man.
Big Boss stood across from Snake, his expression a mix of sternness and subtle pride, or loathing. It would always be hard to tell with the man.
Gray Fox is MIA, Snake. We need you to finish what he started. Operation Intrude, N313. It's now in your hands.
I understand, sir.
This was Gray Fox's last known infiltration route. This is more than a rescue mission. We lost contact with Fox after he discovered something unsettling.
Unsettling?
Fox's last transmission mentioned a new weapon in outer heaven, codenamed Metal Gear TX-55.
Metal Gear. Do we know the extent of what it can do?
Not enough, but it could possibly be nuclear equipped. If true, it could shift the balance of power.
Okay, so what's my primary objective?
First, gather intelligence on Metal Gear. If possible, find and rescue Gray Fox. He holds key information.
Yes, sir. If he's alive, I'll find him and bring him home. And if I encounter this Metal Gear?
Assess the situation. Engage only if you're certain you can handle it. Remember, discretion is as vital as strength.
Stealth over brute force. Understood.
We've provided you with contact details of Resistance members based in the region occupied by Outer Heaven. They each have unique knowledge regarding the base and its inhabitants. Contact them if you need support regarding the mission. Trust your instincts, Snake. You're still a rookie, but one of our best to come out of the Academy in years. What you face in Outer Heaven is unlike any battle you've known. Be prepared for anything.
I won't fail, sir.
Remember, this mission is off the records. Deniability is key. Keep communication to a minimum, and good luck.
Thank you, sir. I'll begin immediately.
Dismissed.
Yeah, obviously there's some, like clear inconsistencies in certain things in the art because these are just prompted images, but it's pretty remarkably consistent, like enough that you can just watch it and enjoy it and not just be totally thrown off, I don't know. I think this has got to be one of the coolest things I've found online in a while.
Solid Snake, a name that would soon echo through the annals of history, stood at the threshold of a journey that would unravel secrets, confront betrayal, and challenge the very nature of his existence. In the deceptive calm of the waters surrounding Outer Heaven, Snake begins his solitary descent into the unknown, guided not only by his training, but by the critical intel from an unlikely ally, Resistance leader Kyle Schneider. A victim of the very fortress he helped design, Kyle Schneider was once an architect who was forced to be part of Outer Heaven's design staff, but joined an underground movement when his wife and child lost their lives as innocent victims of the conflict. Schneider now channels his intimate knowledge of the base and personal loss into aiding Snake's mission. Snake emerged from the water, beneath a dock, a hidden part of the fortress. He surveyed the area, cautious and alert. The immense size of Outer Heaven was daunting to Snake, as it would be for anyone faced with the isolation and the scale of his mission. He took a moment to orient himself, then deactivated his underwater gear, stowing it away. He pulled out his iDroid, checked his bearings, then activated his codec. This is Snake. Schneider, I'm in position.
Good. Remember, the central control area is 2 floors down. Watch for patrols on the eastern corridor.
Got any updates on the internal defenses?
Security's tightened. They've added more surveillance cameras since my last intel. Stick to the shadows. And Snake, be careful.
Thanks, Schneider. Your intel is appreciated. Guided by Schneider's knowledge, Snake becomes a shadow.
It's always
within
good
the
to let
fortress.
people know they're appreciated.
Each movement a step closer to the heart of Outer Heaven. Moving stealthily through dimly lit corridors of the base, he pauses, surveying a junction teeming with guards. Snake knew if Gray Fox was alive, he'd be held in the fortress's prison, and the fastest way there was to get captured.
Over here.
Huh? What was that noise?
Don't move! Put your hands on your head! Now!
Hey, relax. I surrender.
Don't try anything funny, or I'll shoot.
The guards, triumphant, escort a seemingly defeated Snake through the fortress, their faces showing a mix of surprise and pride at the capture of the intruder.
Thought you could sneak in, huh? Wait till the boss hears about this.
Snake remained silent, his face stoic as he observed his surroundings, memorizing the layout. A calculated move, a deliberate plunge into the lion's den. Stripped of his weapons and equipment, Snake was roughly thrown into a cell, its walls echoing with the hushed confessions of those who came before him. Captured, but precisely where he needed to be, he focused on the immediate goal of locating Gray Fox and uncovering the truth about Metal Gear. Snake immediately inspected his cell, looking for weaknesses. He noticed a weakened section of the wall after knocking and heard a faint voice from the next cell over. After chipping a small hole into the wall using contraband he had smuggled in during his capture, Snake peered through.
Does anybody hear me?
Snake, is that you?
Gray Fox. Yes, it's Snake. I'm here to get you out. We received your message about Metal Gear.
Snake, listen closely. Metal Gear, it's not just any weapon. It's a walking battle tank, capable of launching a nuclear missile from any terrain, anywhere in the world. This is an emergency. This could spell catastrophe for us all.
That changes everything. We can't let it be deployed. But don't worry, I've dealt with tanks before. Fox, I'll find it.
It's more than that, Snake. Metal Gear redefines warfare. It's the ultimate deterrent. Undetectable, unstoppable. And it's here in outer heaven. I've seen it. It must be destroyed.
I'll stop it, but first, I'll get you out of here.
Focus on stopping Metal Gear. My rescue, it's secondary. The world, it can't face this threat.
Fine, but I won't leave you here, Fox. After Metal Gear is neutralized, I'm coming back for you.
In the dank confines of his cell, Snake's mission became clearer and more daunting. Metal Gear had to be destroyed, and Gray Fox rescued. The stakes were higher than ever.
Snake, Metal Gear. If it becomes operational, nothing can stop it.
Then we stop it before it starts. But how?
Before I was caught, I had managed to procure the files on the weapon. You need to find Dr. Drago Petrovich Madnar. He's the creator of Metal Gear. They forced him to design it. He's being held hostage somewhere on this base. He's the key. He'll be the only one who knows how to dismantle it.
Okay, I'll find him.
Just be careful, Snake. Outer Heaven is a fortress of traps and elite mercenaries. After abandoning their own countries, they have committed themselves to this place. This is their home. They'll fight to the death to defend it. Trust no one.
With a new objective in mind, Snake's determination only grew. The confines of the cell felt tighter, the air heavier with the weight of the mission. Outer Heaven was more than a fortress. It was a ticking time bomb, with Metal Gear as its catastrophic heart.
Man, I'm telling you. I keep saying it, but I'm telling you. The combining... Oh, and by the way, this is the game that this is based off. Obviously, they added the text, but the 87 Metal Gear. But I mean, how cool is that for, an old pixel game like this, and then to have this kind of thing made in 2024 with AI? It's freaking badass. And it's a perfect example of combining, the human aspect to it, because the soundscape of this is phenomenal. Using music from the actual, classic music from the games, and then using the sound effects from the games, and using NPC voices from the games taking clips and door opening sound effects and stuff. It's brilliant. This is what the internet was made for. There was a time when the internet, this is all you'd find is cool stuff like this, which means that probably in the next 6 months, this will all be taken down, which is why I've already gone and downloaded everything that's already been put up, because I would genuinely watch this more than once. Oh. Hilariously, this one has an ad on it, and it's the Joe Biden ad. Look at this guy. Look at him. Look at his face. Holy crap. We'll skip that. We'll skip that. Yeah, AI is better than Joe Biden, actually. All right. Here we go. Full screen. Episode 2. Mercenary's Path. See, this one's 14 minutes. And it was about less than 20 seconds into this one when I decided I wanted to start a stream and watch this with you guys, because it just, each one they get better at it. And I know, Mothman, you don't know you didn't play the games, but being able to integrate stuff from the game but make it anime style, and the AI voices are already better on this one too. So these are all, I think the first one was what, 8 months ago, and then this one was 3 months ago. Oh, I don't know. I was definitely going to watch this one because this is the one that I was about to watch. I don't know. I was just going to let it roll and see. I wasn't planning on streaming for maybe more than an hour at most, but I figured I was already watching it, so there's probably some Metal Gear fans out there. So apparently they're not on tonight from my channel.
This is Snake. Boss, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Report.
I've located Gray Fox. He's confirmed it. Metal Gear is nuclear equipped, and they plan on activating it soon. We have to stop it.
That's troubling news. We underestimated their progress. What's Fox's status?
Fox is safe for now, sir. He gave me intel on how to stop Metal Gear. I need to find a Dr. Madnar, another prisoner on the base. He's the designer of the weapon. If I find him, I'll figure out how to stop Metal Gear. But I won't proceed without your call, boss. What are my orders?
Continue the mission. Gather more intel on Metal Gear. Find a way to stop it. This weapon is too dangerous to be left in the hands of these mercenaries. But stay sharp, Snake. Outer Heaven is a den of vipers. Don't let your guard down for a second. If you need to, contact me by codec. The frequency is 140.85.
Got it. Okay, I'm ready to go.
Snake, is everything going okay?
I need intel on someone. Do you know anything about a Dr. Madnar?
Yes, Madnar's a prisoner here. They had him working on some big project. He was always accompanied by armed guards. I remember seeing him on the base. He looked like a high-profile prisoner. He wouldn't be held in the main cell block.
Any idea where they're holding him?
There are more cells across the base where they hold prisoners who aren't soldiers. They'll likely have him there. But the only way to reach that area is from the roof. You'll have to cross over to the other side of the building to get there.
The roof. Got it. Thanks, Schneider.
Good luck, Snake.
It's not going to be long until you're actually watching like real anime and real shows with AI. This is just wild.
Having shattered the chains of his captivity, Solid Snake stood on the perilous path of outer heaven. Each step brought him closer to Metal Gear. And the truth. Snake moved deeper into the base relatively easily, like a shadow, a ghost in the wind. But he would soon face adversaries, the likes of which he had never faced before. He stopped abruptly. Ahead, a looming shadow materialized from the darkness. The heavy thud of boots grew louder. It was Shotmaker, the notorious prison warden, a formidable figure with a dark and dangerous past. Shotmaker, once a respected Spetsnaz operative, honed his lethal skills in the Soviet Union. But with its collapse, he found a new path as a mercenary. His ruthlessness steered him to being recruited into outer heaven, where he became the sole warden of the underground prison. His brutal, imposing nature and the fear he instilled made him more than qualified to handle the task.
Going somewhere, little worm?
Who the hell are you?
No one escapes my prison. This is the end of the line for you, boy.
Let's not jump to conclusions.
I faced down better men than you. You're just another notch on my gun.
I don't go down easy.
Oh, I've heard all about you, Solid Snake. Foxhound's golden boy. But here in outer heaven, you're just prey.
How do you know so much about me?
Shotmaker's hand moved towards his holstered riot gun. He opened fire, but Snake's reflexes were sharp. He quickly dove into an adjacent room, avoiding the gunfire.
Run all you want. There's no escaping me, coward.
The door slammed shut behind Snake. The muffled sound of Shotmaker's curses, bullets, and heavy footsteps echoed outside. It was a deadly game of cat and mouse. Snake would have to use his wits and training to overcome the brute strength and ferocity of Shotmaker. He quickly surveyed the room, looking for anything he could use to his advantage. As luck would have it, he located his scattered gear and a few additional items that would come in handy.
Okay, time for a change in tactics.
Fully equipped, he cautiously opened the door, peering into the corridor where Shotmaker lurked, pacing like a cage.
Okay, I just looked it up to get a timeline. Here we go. So it says the earliest was 1964, Snake Eater. These are the games out of order of release, but in order of the years they take place. So this Metal Gear is 95. Oh, Metal Gear Solid's supposed to take place in 2005. I did not realize that. So there's all these other games. The story starts in 64 and goes up to this being 95. All right. Well, there you go. The more you know.
Caged beast.
Snake, try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
Snake stepped out, now fully armed and ready. Shotmaker turned, surprised by his sudden reappearance.
What the?
A brief but intense fight ensued. Shotmaker aimed to fire at Snake, but Snake skillfully shot his gun out of his hands, his skill and agility being pitted against Shotmaker's brute force. In a display of tactical prowess, Snake used advanced CQC techniques learned from Big Boss himself to slam Shotmaker to the ground. An incapacitating blow.
Stay down.
Fresh from his victory over Shotmaker, Snake made his way towards the roof access. However, this led him to another equally lethal adversary. A youthful figure emerged with confident swagger, Machine Gun Kid. Barely out of his teens, his youthful appearance belied his deadly expertise. Machine Gun Kid, a former SAS prodigy turned mercenary, whose mastery of machine guns earned him his fearsome nickname. He was of similar age to Snake, and just as deadly. Like Shotmaker, he left a prestigious career behind for the independent world of outer heaven.
So you're the one that the boss keeps talking about?
And you are?
I'm the best damn soldier here.
Machine Gun Kid suddenly opened fire, bullets ricocheting off the walls. Snake ducked for cover, narrowly avoiding the shots.
Damn it!
Snake strategically moved from cover to cover, avoiding direct confrontation. The gunfire relentless, a chaotic echo in the tight space. Preparing to counterattack, Snake threw a smoke grenade filling the corridor with thick smoke. Machine Gun Kid, now disoriented, fired blindly.
Ah, damn it! Can't see a thing!
Emerging from the smoke, Snake swiftly closed the distance, executing precise maneuvers. It was over for Machine Gun Kid before he even knew it. Having overcome the formidable Machine Gun Kid, Snake found himself atop the windswept rooftop of Building 1, a vast expanse under the starless sky of outer heaven. The rooftop, wide and open, was a stark contrast to the claustrophobic corridors below. Snake stood at the edge, gazing across the gap to the inner courtyard where the cells were located. He donned a parachute found amongst his gear and secured it to his back, figuring the quickest way to reach the cells would be to jump, his only lifeline across the perilous expanse. As Snake prepared to jump, the thunderous whir of rotors pierced the night. A Hind D gunship, menacing and armed, emerged, its spotlight sweeping the rooftop. The Hind D, a soaring predator of the skies, its arrival sowed suspicion in Snake. This marked the third time he had encountered a deadly foe directly in his path, as if tipped off by someone. The coincidence was too glaring to ignore, and Snake couldn't shake the feeling that there was a leak in his mission. He briefly considered the possibility that he was being paranoid, the high stakes of the operation playing tricks on his mind. Yet, the nagging questions persisted, gnawing at him even as he prepared to face the immediate threat of the gunship. He ducked behind cover as the gunship opened fire. Bullets peppered the rooftop. Sparks and debris flew everywhere. Surveying his surroundings, desperately searching for a way to counter the gunship's onslaught, his eyes fell upon a single grenade, a remnant from his reclaimed gear. With no other options, he knew he had to make this one shot count. In a heart-stopping moment of daring, Snake broke from his cover, rolling across the rooftop as the gunship's spotlight frantically tried to track his movements. With a deep breath and a silent prayer, he pulled the pin and launched the grenade with all his might, watching it arc through the air against the dark sky. Time seemed to slow as the grenade hurtled towards its target, the gunship's rotors beating a deafening rhythm. Then, in a blinding flash, the grenade found its mark, detonating in a fiery explosion that engulfed the aircraft. The once menacing Hind D erupted into a ball of flames, its metal carcass raining down upon the rooftop in a shower of smoldering debris. With the gunship's wreckage still smoldering behind him, Snake knew that time was of the essence. The explosion would undoubtedly draw attention, and reinforcements would soon be on their way. He sprinted towards the edge of the rooftop, his heart pounding in his ears as he prepared to make the leap that would take him one step closer to his objective. As he reached the edge, Snake took a deep breath, steeling himself for the jump. With a final glance back at the burning remnants of the Hind D, he leapt into the void, embracing the rush of wind and the uncertainty of what lay ahead. The parachute carried Snake down gracefully, drifting towards his destination. The inner courtyard bathed in the eerie glow of the moon. The landing was rough but controlled. He unstrapped the parachute and surveyed the courtyard. It was desolate save for the imposing cells ahead of him.
Dr. Madnar's cell should be close.
Snake approached the cells, his steps echoing in the quiet. He reached the door. Anticipation and tension were evident in his posture. He opened the cell door, only to find it empty. A moment of frustration crossed his face, but resolve quickly replaced it. Snake was not one to give up.
Damn, not here. I need to keep moving.
Suddenly, a rustling sound caught his attention. A hostage, eyes wide with fear and hope, emerged from the shadows.
You're not one of them, are you?
No, I'm here to help. I need to find Dr. Madnar. You know him?
He was here, but they moved him to Building 2's basement. It's heavily guarded. They need him to finalize the work on Metal Gear. Once he's finished, that monster will be fully operational.
Then that's where I'm headed. Stay here. I'll send help.
With each step, Snake would unravel more of Outer Heaven's twisted web. The path ahead was fraught with danger, but his resolve was unshakable. The mission continued, deeper into the abyss. Now armed with the knowledge of Dr. Madnar's new location, Snake stood at the edge of a vast desert that separated the two main buildings of outer heaven. The courtyard faded behind him as he approached the daunting expanse of the desert. The moon cast long shadows over the dunes, creating an almost otherworldly landscape.
The desert. This isn't going to be easy.
He checked his gear. Water, compass, map. Each item would be essential for the treacherous journey ahead. The moon hung low, casting a spectral light over the desert as Snake continued on. The sand, a seemingly endless expanse, sprawled out before him. He moved forward with determination, his figure a lone entity in the vast open landscape. The only sounds were his steady footsteps and the soft whisper of the desert wind. Snake paused briefly, consulting his compass and map under a faint light. He took a careful sip of water, mindful of his limited supplies. The desolate terrain was unforgiving and endless. It was a true test of survival, pitting Snake against the raw forces of nature. A distant rumble drew Snake's attention. He quickly ducked, concealing himself as a patrol vehicle cruised by, its lights a brief intrusion in the darkness. Snake remained unseen, a shadow amidst shadows. As the night wore on, Snake's pace began to slow. His steps became laborious under the weight of fatigue in the relentless desert. The first light of dawn began to seep over the horizon, casting a golden glow across the sands. Snake, still a distance from his goal, pressed on. The silhouette of Building 2 started to become visible, a mirage-like presence on the horizon.
Almost there.
As the sun rose over the desert, Snake's resolve was put to the ultimate test. Each step through the shifting sands brought him closer to Building 2, yet the fate of his mission remained uncertain. Exhausted but determined, Snake pushed onward, driven by an unwavering will to uncover the truth and confront the dangers that awaited him. The desert had forged his legend, but the true trials lay ahead. With the fortress in sight, Snake steeled himself for the challenges to come, ready to face the horrors and revelations that lurked within its walls.
Man, the amount of work they put into this is just incredibly impressive. And the fact that they're pulling like sound effects and stuff from all of the games. I thought maybe they were just doing it mainly from Metal Gear Solid, the first PlayStation 1 game. But now they're pulling sounds from all of the games. It's just brilliant. I mean, if you think about it, right? They got all the Foley work that you need already exists. It's already all out there. It's already been created. This is such a cool idea. I mean, this really, as this person is doing with Metal Gear and Tekken so far. I mean, this could definitely potentially be an amazing thing. You could finish series that never got finished, anime and stuff, or use it like this. Take games that are already well established and make a whole new a story out of it. I mean, it's pretty amazing. All right, I can't resist. One more. And then if you enjoy it, go subscribe. Yeah, it really could be a cool new era of the internet that felt like the internet used to feel in the early days of, just a renaissance, a golden age type thing of before any of this is really reined in. Like the internet used to be, before the internet was really reined in, when it really was just kind of the Wild West good old days, and before everything got channeled into social media things and controlled by laws and governments and stuff. And then of course, laws and governments, I mean, tech companies are, that's one and the same. But it could be really cool. That's why I've used the internet long enough to know that, like, as soon as I found this, I downloaded every single episode. Because this is the kind of thing that's just too awesome. It's too awesome to stay up. There's going to be, in the next year, there's going to be a big movement to take this kind of stuff down. And people who, like, anime artists who, this is mimicking my style. And then you got the creators of the IP and all that stuff. Instead of, like, seeing it as these are fan creations, which is what it is. It's not claiming to be official. It's just a fan, creating fan art, It's paying tribute, saying, like, I love this story and all this stuff. But, when it's that good, they end up taking it down. That's just how the internet works. All right, one more.
After the long journey, the desolate desert stretched endlessly behind Snake. As he drew closer to his destination, a glint of metal caught his eye. Looming in the distance, a newly deployed tank stood as a sentinel of Outer Heaven's defenses, a barrier between him and his objective. Shocked by the force of the blast, Snake backed up, unwilling to face the tank head-on. Avoiding line of sight, he laid a trail of landmines, each one carefully placed, a breadcrumb path of destruction for the unwitting mechanical beast. He took cover behind a nearby rock formation, his eyes intently fixed on the approaching tank.
Eat this!
The tank, a behemoth of metal, rolled forward, stalking its prey, its heavy treads kicking up clouds of dust. It hit the first mine. A deafening explosion ripped through the stillness of the desert. The tank shuddered violently, but stubbornly continued its advance.
Come on, just a little closer.
The tank, now damaged, triggered the second mine. Another explosion engulfed the machine in flames. Its treads shattered, leaving it immobile and vulnerable. Seizing the moment, Snake rushed toward the crippled tank. In a daring display of agility, he leapt onto the tank, muscles tensing as he pried open the hatch. He tossed a grenade inside and jumped clear, rolling to safety.
Huh? What's that?
The tank erupted in a fiery inferno, a column of smoke and fire soaring into the sky. Snake watched momentarily as the flames consumed the machine.
How the hell did they know where I was?
The echoes of the explosion faded into the vast desert. Snake stood up, dusted himself off, and resumed his trek towards Building 2, his expression hardening in anticipation of the challenges ahead. The ruins of the tank laid smoldering in the background as Snake advanced toward Building 2. The fortress stood imposingly ahead, a stronghold brimming with secrets. Snake, cautiously approaching, halted as he observed an increased number of guards patrolling the entrance. Something was amiss.
Too many guards. Security's tight. They were expecting me. But why?
Snake, what's your status? Intel suggests they've increased security.
How are they doing this, boss? I've been ambushed multiple times, and they seem to know my every move. It's like they're in my head. This mission, something's off.
You need to stay focused, Snake. We can't afford to second guess now. In case they've tapped into our communications, I'm changing the codec frequency to 140.13.
Understood. But if they're listening in, what else do they know?
Just be careful, Snake. We don't know what else they're capable of. You'll have to use a disguise to get past those guards. It looks like the only way you'll get through.
Okay, I'll find a way inside. But I need answers. It seems luck's been on my side so far. I appreciate the backup, boss. Stay in touch.
He surveyed the corridor, spotting a lone guard standing near a doorway. Snake picked up a small piece of debris and tossed it down the corridor, away from his position. The sound echoed loudly and drew the guard's attention.
Huh? What was that noise?
The guard moved to investigate, his hand on his weapon. As he passed the doorway, Snake sprung into action. Snake grabbed the guard from behind, pulled him into a storage room, and rendered the guard unconscious with a precise chokehold. He quickly stripped the guard of his uniform and helmet, donning them himself.
Okay, this'll work.
Now disguised as a guard, Snake stepped back into the corridor. Moving with purpose, blending seamlessly with the other patrols, his disguised form disappeared around the corner, deeper into the heart of Building 2's underground. Snake found himself in a vast waterway, a cavernous space echoing with the sounds of rushing water. Snake, still in his enemy officer disguise, cautiously navigated along the edge, his steps silent, his presence alert. As he moved forward, a gigantic armored bulldozer suddenly rose from the depths, blocking his path. Its operator, a burly guard, eyed Snake with suspicion.
Halt. Identify yourself.
Caught off guard, Snake quickly adopted a facade, saluting the operator while disguising his voice.
Guard Unit 7, sir. Just patrolling the area.
Unit 7 isn't scheduled for this sector. You're in the wrong place, soldier. Explain yourself.
Snake's mind raced. He subtly reached for a flash grenade, knowing his disguise wouldn't hold.
Guess I'll have to make my own schedule.
In a swift motion, Snake turned and sprinted away while the operator shouted alarms. The bulldozer roared to life, crashing through the wall in pursuit. Snake dashed through the waterway, the bulldozer barreling behind him, its engine thunderous. The walls trembled as Snake desperately navigated the labyrinth of corridors, the bulldozer relentlessly on his heels. Seeing a narrow passage ahead, Snake leapt through it just as the bulldozer crashed into the wall. As the bulldozer started to slowly break through, Snake realized it was a dead end. He was trapped.
It's over for you now.
With little time to spare, he prepared a grenade launcher found among his gear. There was nowhere to escape.
Damn it, only one way out of this.
He decided to risk it all. He readied the grenade launcher, took aim, and fired directly at the bulldozer, causing a massive explosion in the confined space. In the split second, Snake submerged himself in the water, using it as his only shield. The room erupted in flames and shrapnel, but he remained protected under the water's surface. As the water calmed and the debris settled, Snake emerged, coughing and slightly shell-shocked but unharmed. The bulldozer was a smoldering wreck. He took a moment to regain his composure, and then pressed on. Now out of the waterway, he found himself in a corridor that led to an unassuming door. He entered. It was an abandoned research lab. The room was suspiciously empty, devoid of guards or scientists.
Madnar must have been here.
Ahead was a figure hunched over a desk cluttered with papers and equipment. It was Dr. Madnar, or so it seemed.
Dr. Madnar, I presume?
Yes, that's me. Who are you?
Don't worry, I'm here to get you out. But first, I need answers about Metal Gear.
Metal Gear? I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't play games with me, Doctor. I know you're the key to stopping that thing.
The imposter's facade crumbled, revealing a sinister smile. He reached for a concealed weapon and fired at Snake. The bullet grazed his core. Ignoring the pain, he disarmed and pinned the imposter against the wall.
Where's the real Madnar? Talk, or I'll make you talk.
You'll never find him. Outer Heaven will bury you. You're a dead man, Snake.
He searched the man, finding a keycard marked Research Lab.
Another trap. They're toying with me. What the hell is going on?
Snake exited the room with the keycard. He knew he was being played, but his resolve hardened. The real Dr. Madnar was still out there. Now with a slight inkling on where to head next, Snake continued deeper into Building 2. Heading towards the research labs, the air was thick with the tension of unseen dangers. Suddenly, a burst of intense heat and light filled the open hallway. The fire trooper, a fearsome mercenary clad in flame-resistant gear and wielding a flamethrower, stepped into view. His presence was menacing, the air around him shimmering with heat. Fire Trooper was originally a member of the elite German counterterrorism unit, GSG-9. Skilled and disciplined, he soon found the confines of military life too restrictive. Turning to a life of mercenary work, he became an expert in using his weapon of choice, the flamethrower. handling it with the ease and accuracy of a rifle. His dangerous choice of weapon necessitated a specialized flame retardant suit. Hired by the mercenary nation of Outer Heaven, Fire Trooper became a living embodiment of fear and destruction. Flames licked the walls as the Fire Trooper unleashed a torrent of fire, trapping Snake.
Welcome to Outer Heaven, Snake. There's nowhere to hide from me. I'll burn you to ashes.
Snake ducked behind a crate, feeling the intense heat. The Fire Trooper, relentless, planned to engulf the entire room in flames. The heat was suffocating, the danger imminent.
Can't stay here. Gotta keep moving. Find an opening.
Realizing he couldn't stay put, Snake made a split-second decision. He took a deep breath and leapt through the flames, feeling the searing pain as they scorched his skin. As he emerged, he spotted the Fire Trooper. He was hell-bent on engulfing the entire room. In a swift motion, Snake fired a grenade at the trooper's feet. The explosion rocked the room, knocking the Fire Trooper off balance.
Ha ha! You can't hurt me. This suit is impenetrable, Snake.
We'll see about that.
Snake, undeterred, seized the opportunity. He rushed the Fire Trooper, engaging in close-quarters combat. Their struggle was fierce. The trooper's armor deflected Snake's strikes. In a bind, Snake's eyes narrowed, looking for any advantage. He spotted a vulnerability in the trooper's neck armor. He feinted left and struck, his fist connecting with the exposed neck. The Fire Trooper staggered, his flamethrower wavering dangerously. Snake, in a frenzy, delivered multiple decisive blows to the Fire Trooper's helmet, cracking the visor. The trooper collapsed, defeated. Snake staggered through the corridors, his breath coming in ragged gasps. The adrenaline from his battle with Fire Trooper was fading, replaced by a bone-deep exhaustion. Every step was an effort, his muscles screaming in protest. He remained alert, but the fatigue from his relentless journey was starting to become apparent. He finally came across a series of abandoned labs and offices. The scene was one of a hasty evacuation, papers scattered, equipment left in disarray. Amid the chaos, Snake found a document containing information on Outer Heaven. He studied it briefly, his jaw set firm. Snake's trained eye took in the details, searching for anything of importance. A glint of metal caught his attention. He reached down, picking up another document. It was a partial schematic of Metal Gear, the machine that haunted his mission. Snake's brow furrowed as he studied the complex design.
Metal Gear. What are they planning on doing with this thing?
Snake pocketed the document and pressed on. He entered a vast hangar-like space, the scale of it dwarfing him. More schematics and maps were scattered about, pieces of a larger puzzle that Snake struggled to put together. A sudden noise made him spin around, his gun drawn in a heartbeat. But it was just the hum of distant machinery, echoing in the emptiness. Snake let out a shaky breath, his heart pounding. His body was reaching its limit. The injuries from his battles, the constant strain of infiltration, the lack of rest, it all started to take its toll. Snake leant heavily against a wall, his vision swimming. As his codec beeped, the sound became unnaturally loud in the stillness. Snake reached for his iDroid, but his arms felt like lead. The room tilted around him as he collapsed to the ground.
Got to keep moving.
His body wouldn't obey. Snake's eyes fluttered closed, the exhaustion claiming him at last. The codec continued to beep, a lifeline that Snake was unable to grasp.
I trust it will be complete on schedule, Dr. Madnar?
Yes, of course, sir. Everything is proceeding accordingly. TX-55 will be operational as planned.
Good. Take him back to his cell.
In the heart of Outer Heaven, a ghost of a man lingered. Venom Snake. Once the finest soldier of Big Boss's mercenary force, he was transformed into his phantom. Created through radical surgery and hypnotherapy, he was a warrior crafted to bear the legacy of another. His loyalty to Big Boss was absolute, his sacrifice unknowing. But beneath the veil of his new identity, signs of the man he once was lingered, fragments of a past life. Yet, as he became aware of the boss's will through the memories of another, a conflict stirred within him. He grappled with the burden of Big Boss's legacy while trying to discern the true intent of the boss for himself. Venom Snake stood at a crossroads of ideologies. In one hand, the ideals of Big Boss, a mantle thrust upon him. In the other, a growing understanding of the boss's will, a path less defined, yet deeply resonant. Few words escaped him, yet his silence spoke volumes. In the quiet of his mind, the turmoil of his dual existence battled, contemplating the cost of the identity he embodied and the future he wished to shape for himself.
I haven't forgotten what you've told me, boss. We have no tomorrow, but there's still hope for the future. In our struggle to survive the present, we
What is this ending?
farther away. Will I see it in my lifetime? Probably not. Which means there's no time to waste. Someday the world will no longer need us. No need for the gun, or the hand to pull the trigger. I have to drive out this demon inside me. Build a better future. That's what we will leave as our legacy.
Why did it switch to
Another mission, right,
this
boss?
game part? I don't understand. Yeah, I don't know. Why did it jump to that?
The true intent of the boss for himself. Venom Snake stood at a crossroads of ideologies. In one hand, the ideals of Big Boss, a mantle thrust upon him. In the other, a growing understanding of the boss's will, a path less defined, yet deeply resonant. Few words escaped him, yet his silence spoke volumes. In the quiet of his mind, the turmoil of his dual existence battled, contemplating the cost of the identity he embodied and the future he wished to shape for himself.
So really that's the
I haven't forgotten what
So really that's the end of it, but then it decides to play Metal Gear Solid 5 since it's showing, you know, the overlap, I guess is why they're doing that. I'll ignore it. Because that's the kind of guy I am. Yeah, Majin, I'll check out... you said it's on the Masters Collection? You can pick just Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence. I think... I can't remember... I think I had Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance, and then Metal Gear Solid 3 I bought when it came out on the PS2, or was that PS3? That was no, Metal Gear Solid 3. What did that originally come out on? Let's see, Metal Gear Solid 3 original console, PlayStation 2. That's what I thought. Yeah, I just watched this little like documentary about it, and Kojima wanted it to be on PS3, but they were taking too long to put out PS3, so he decided to start development. Yeah, so Snake Eater, I only ever had the original release on, you know, I went and bought the disc. Those were the good old days when you had to go buy the discs all the time. I think PS3 was pretty much the peak of console gaming for bang for your buck, you know, just combining the two worlds. The new idea of being able to kind of download stuff, but then also discs were still a major part of it, you know? Those were good times. But since we're talking about Metal Gear, have you seen this yet? This came out last week.
You have found a way to wield true magic.
Shut up. Stupid ad. Oh, I can't even skip it. Can't even skip this ad. All right. Yeah.
What does it take for a remake to become truly legendary? I think you're gonna like what you find.
Yeah, this video is almost 11 minutes, so it's 10:49 about Delta. But the coolest part of it, actually, I watched this earlier today. Let's see, where does it? Here we go. This was the coolest. If you haven't watched this yet, this was to me was the coolest part of what they're doing with this remake.
Now.
Yeah, the play style's new and legacy. I thought this was pretty sweet.
So, I know what you probably want to hear the most about. How does the game play? Whether you're old school or playing for the first time, Delta has the best of both worlds. With Legacy style, the game plays like the original, with similar overhead camera and controls. But if you're used to modern shooters, we offer new style, with a controllable third-person camera. Both options maintain that trademark Metal Gear Solid.
Just that part, like, so I watched this whole thing today, and there is a bunch of interesting stuff in this, and they got an interview with the main, like, the head of production for this game and stuff. So that's all interesting stuff as well, but I'm just skeptical of everything that they say about any remake because, you know, they say all the right things. You know, they say that we're going to be true to the game and it's just going to update the graphics, but usually a lot of times that's not the case. So take all that with a grain of salt. But I just like this idea that they put in there, the new and legacy style, because being able to switch between the two, because I definitely would want to try the new version, play it like a new game. But something tells me that would drive me insane because I played the shit out of the original. So being able to switch back, you know, like choose which way you want to play it, I think is pretty cool. I mean, assuming they don't completely screw it up. Twin Snakes, I could never play Twin Snakes because of all the stuff that I read about it. They changed so much of that from the original. But they didn't just change, you know, gameplay like this is saying. Like this is saying, you know, you can change gameplay styles, new style or the original style. Twin Snakes genuinely just changed a bunch of the story and the way the game operated in general. So I never even went to go do it. I guess maybe I'll get it and stream it because it might be funny to hear me get unnecessarily angry while playing the game. No, the whole reason I started finding this stuff today though about Metal Gear was I was watching. I saw this, the new this new video that came out last week with David Hayter talking about Delta, and then that led me down a rabbit hole of just clicking on Metal Gear videos, you know, like related videos on YouTube, and I did not know. Come on, is it actually going to show up? Probably it won't now that I'm looking for it. Well, here's one of them. It's going to play an ad, isn't it? Oh, no.
Won't be a spin-off.
I didn't realize that Did You Know Gaming did a whole bunch of stuff with David Hayter. I had no idea. So I like watched a bunch of that while I was working today. They did a bunch of these videos with David Hayter going over a bunch of things that I'd never even heard before. That's why I freaking love Metal Gear, man. After all these years, I'll find things where I go, holy shit, how did I not know that about this? I mean, not that there was a way I could have known it, but, you know, it's just how deep the storyline and all the, you know, the history of the games go. I don't know if you ever saw this. So, the first one was 8 years ago.
know.
Hideo Kojima wanted to let players keep rats as pets in Metal Gear Solid. Rats play a small but...
Yeah, I went down this rabbit hole from Did You Know Gaming of David Hayter doing these Metal Gear series. And these are long videos, 28 minutes, 42 minutes, 37 minutes. Like, I was letting this play while I was working today, and it's just so much cool stuff in there, man.
Issue of official UK PlayStation magazine. An interviewer asked Kojima about cut content, and he told them, there was another character, Mariachi. He was an analyst, and every time you fight, you were supposed to talk to this guy, and he'd tell you the best way to defeat your enemy. And every time you asked for this guy,
But I will say, the funniest thing that I learned from watching all this is that Kojima is in no way a genius. Or let me put it this way. He's a genius in the way that Syd Barrett from Pink Floyd is a genius, where he's like just basically crazy as shit. And he comes up with a lot of out-of-box ideas, and then he's got a team that whittles it down to the ones that are good. Because, man, when I was watching all that stuff today while I was working here in the studio, it was cracking me up, where I was like, man, these are terrible ideas. Kojima is a crazy bastard. I'm glad this wasn't in the game. This game would have sucked if he did that. It's that mad genius, where it's just he's got to have people around him that help him whittle it down to being the good stuff, the gems. Are they not going to do... is Metal Gear Solid 4 not going to be on the Master Collection? Isn't it going to be on the Master Collection Volume 2? I think I read that somewhere, right? I swear, I thought I read that it was getting a re-release. Previous reports and data mining leaks have indicated that Metal Gear Solid 4 Master Collection Volume 2 will include Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots. So I guess there's a rumor that it's going to be on Master Collection Volume 2. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't on Volume 1, but I thought I read that it was going to be on Volume 2. Okay, Volume 2 will include Metal Gear Solid 4, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. And The Phantom Pain just really bummed me out because I absolutely loved the beginning of that game. I thought it was really cool. It's like, oh man, we haven't had anything really new, from Metal Gear in a long time, and this felt new. The way that the way that game started, and then you realize that it's like half of a game, and then it just turns into basically nothing. What a bummer, man! Huge bummer. I've played the first, 2 hours or something of Metal Gear Solid 5 several times. I have played that game into the ground the first time I played it, hoping that it was going to eventually go somewhere, and it never does. And then, of course, learning about the history of that game and how the splitting up of Kojima and Konami and stuff, but feels like a ripoff. That game started off so badass. And I didn't even play Peace Walker until years after it came out, and I was surprised at how much I liked that game. That was a good game. All right, I'm going to play one thing because it just popped up, and then I'm going to end the stream. I just wanted to pop in and play some of that AI-generated anime Metal Gear because I thought it was one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time. But I just saw Samson put out a new video 5 days ago, and I haven't watched it yet, so I'm gonna watch it. We'll see if it's copyrighted and it'll shut it down. Shut down the stream.
Yeah, I get in my head sometimes, wondering if I'm good enough. I ain't looking for a compliment, that's just how it is. I take a step and my foot gets stuck. It's like everything I do is a masterpiece. I always one-up myself every time I drop. So when I go to write the next one, I'm thinking about the last one and how good it was, and I get writer's block. I'm my own worst critic, no one's worse with it. To pick apart every word, shit is so irking, it's so frustrating. Every single verse I compose is so worthless. How am I supposed to finish it? I can say fuck it like a lot of these cats and give you quantity over quality and call it a rap, but stand back and watch it fall down flat. Cause y'all they used to me giving my all, not having. If I did, I wouldn't be this big. It's the blood and the sweat that got me this gig. I get tons of respect, but it doesn't mean shit if it doesn't connect. So I need to be sick when I'm coming. Fuck being decent, I'm different. I'm someone you don't want to start beef with a shit with a nothing. Everything is down to a science, from the words that I spit to the beat that I pick. To the look in my motherfucking eyes, you can stare into them. You see a man who doesn't care who views them. I don't give a damn if you share my music, as long as I think it's dope. I don't compare it to another rapper. I'll never beg for a billboard. I got skills that these little bastards to kill for, but I still get stuck. Shit starts building up till I'm filled with doubt, and I can't seem to filter it out. I can't figure it out.
For some reason, people like Tom McDonald. This guy's a million times better.
People wondering why I go ghost right after I post something so live and so dope. Like, why, bro? You lit a fire and let it go. Could've made it grow, but instead you let that shit die slow. Like, I don't know. Dog, you're preaching to the choir. All this perfectionism is eating my desire. Everything I do, I nitpick to pieces. How the fuck I freeze up with my feet to the fire? And on top of all that, they won't get off my back. Sometimes I wish I never did any political tracks. I meant every single word I ever spit in those raps, but now it seems like it's all anybody wishes I asked. That ain't the type of shit I did to get where I'm at. If you went through my catalog and you flipped to the back and did the math and listened to my original act, you'll see a cat dedicated to the pen and the craft. But on the other hand, there's a different attack. People who were there at the beginning of the path, they hate it. They say that I just did it for cash, and it was all a big grift just to get me a bag. I can't win. I feel like I'm ripping in half. I don't know if I should get mad or forget it and laugh. Yeah, I'll leave my cash app in the description tab, but it's your decision to put a tip in my hat. I never asked. I never held my hand out. I never tried to use you to grow my wealth. So how the hell you gonna tell me I did it for money, dog? I don't even promote myself. If I put out a song with a message in it, then it's genuine. It's just the way I feel. I feel like I shouldn't ask you to pay me for that. I'm trying to make you think, not make a sale. Part is they put me in a box with all these other dudes that fucking suck. And if you think I'm talking about you, then I probably am. So fucking what? Yeah, sure, we share some of the same viewpoints, and our core beliefs are probably similar too. But I take rap way too serious to act like I don't cringe every time I listen to you. Everybody, say what you want about me, but you know damn well every song I killed. Even if you never agreed with what I said, if you know rap, then you know I brought the skill. It was always real. I wanted y'all to feel what I felt at the time when I wrote those lyrics. I tried my hardest and put my heart in it and crossed my fingers and just hope you hear it. Everything they gave you was surface level. Me, I dug up dirt with a shovel, dove in deep and we all explored. Every single release was like a college course. I dissected every topic that I spoke on, did research every time that I wrote songs. I tried to be as thorough as I possibly could, always double checking to make sure I didn't get any quotes wrong. And that's why I don't do it all the time. It comes from a true place of inspiration. I'm not gonna make shit up just to put shit out. If I don't feel it, I'm not gonna say it. I hate this little subgenre of rap and the cesspool that it's grown into. I'd wrap a rope around my fucking neck before I let somebody rope me in with you. I just want to rap now.
Samson's the best out there, man. As someone who doesn't, regularly listen to rap by any means. But man, he's good. And I like how right when I said, yeah, Tom McDonald ain't shit, the Samson's the real guy, and then he drops that line right after I said that. See, when was the last time he even put out a video? 9 months ago. I wonder how much he makes off of his YouTube channel, because that's crazy, man. He makes good stuff. Yeah, he never he hasn't done he hasn't done an album yet, which just to me just seems like, yeah, he just doesn't feel like he's got, you know, enough tracks for it. And as he said in that whole song, he's not just gonna force himself to write shit if he doesn't want to. So there you go. Well, all right, guys. I just wanted to play some of that Metal Gear AI stuff. I'm telling you that when I came across that, it just completely blew my mind. Taking all this AI stuff and then putting, you know, a little bit of the human aspect of it to edit it and set it up, you know, in the right way. Genuinely actually enjoyable. It's like all that stuff that's been going viral of the, you know, Star Wars from if it was 1970 or if it was imagine Star Wars if it was in the 1970s. You know, where it shows like, you know, Star Wars if it was 1955, or you know, it shows like Simpsons if it was a sitcom in the 80s, where they show AI and they put those like trailers together. This is the next iteration of that, or not iteration, but you know, the next step, the next, the more advanced. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. The next generation, where it's actually like creating stories, you know. I'm just trying to pull it up again. There we go.
Forgotten what you've told me, boss.
Not this crap again. This stupid crap.
Doorway.
What, Metal Gear?
Snake picked up a small piece of debris and tossed it down the corridor, away from his position. The sound echoed loudly and drew the guard's attention.
It's just freaking amazing. I mean, what a really cool thing. And using it with Metal Gear, you know, I mean, you could pick anything. Like I showed before, this channel, Loresmith, that's making these, has some Tekken ones as well. But it's just brilliant because, yeah, you can take the soundtrack and the sound effects and all the Foley art and the NPC voices from the game and put them in to make these videos more immersive. It's brilliant, man. It's absolutely brilliant.
Metal Gear. Do we know the extent of what it can do?
Not enough. But it could possibly be nuclear equipped. If true, it could shift the balance of power.
Absolutely epic. I haven't watched any of these Tekken or Street Fighter. Says, I transferred the first stage of this retro classic into a narratively driven animated experience.
What was once a peaceful and prosperous city has fallen into the hands of a syndicate led by a man known only as Mr. X. The syndicate has absorbed the city's government and even has the city's police in their pocket. Crime is rising rapidly, and no one is safe walking the streets day or night.
Yeah, but I never played Streets of Rage, so I don't know what the heck I'm looking at. But I did play Tekken.
In the heart of a bustling city in America, under the shade of towering skyscrapers, a young Paul Phoenix found his calling. As a child, his eyes were captivated by the local street fighters. The sheer power and fearlessness exhibited in these battles ignited a fire in Paul, a desire to become not just a fighter, but the strongest in the universe. Paul's childhood was not one of privilege. It was marked by hardship and the need to stand up for himself in the rough neighborhoods of his youth. His home life was a mystery to many, a topic he seldom spoke about, choosing instead to focus on his future, not his past. The streets became both his battleground and his training ground, each scuffle teaching him more about his own strength and resilience. His early fighting style was raw and unrefined, driven more by instinct and brute force than technique. However, his natural talent for combat was undeniable. He was a brawler, his punches heavy and his will unbreakable. Paul's reputation on the streets grew, and with it, a sense of pride and confidence that would become his trademark. As Paul matured into his teenage years, his ambition only grew stronger. He knew that street fighting was only the beginning. His sights were set on a larger stage. This pursuit led him to cross paths with martial law, a martial artist whose skill and discipline contrasted sharply with Paul's raw power. Their friendship was forged through combat and mutual respect. Law became more than a friend to Paul. He was a mentor, a rival, and a brother in...
And it's the fact that it's using the era of anime style that I actually liked. the good stuff, man. Makes you want to go back and watch like some Gundam 8th MS Team or something. Dude, it's absolutely brilliant. Yoshimitsu, nice. Holy crap, this one's 26 minutes long. Damn. That's what he's creating full episodes, like 22 minutes, 26 minutes long. It's impressive, man.
Serving his missions of justice and mercy. Inspired by his compassion and adherence to his clan's creed, she eventually approached him, expressing a bold desire to join his clan and learn his ways. Her fading eyes were filled with a desperate hunger for strength and purpose. Though she kept her past hidden, scars on her face hinted at the abuses she had suffered while surviving.
Man, it's pretty unbelievable. I would assume this one probably has to be funny because it's
in service.
King. If we got any Tekken fans out there. King.
In the back alleys of Mexico City, a young boy fought for survival. This boy, with no real name known to anyone, was a fixture in the underground street fighting scene.
It's just wild that it's been able to make this art. I mean, it's not going to be... By the end of this year, they'll probably be actually animating it as well to make it an actual anime. Not like using it, freeze frame, zooming in, and then using a little bit of motion. Because that's been out for a little while, where you could take a picture and add some motion to it, which they've done on some of these
ferocity of a caged
frames.
Animal. Yet, in his heart, the boy was more lost than fierce. Abandoned at a young age, the streets became his home. He grew up with no guidance, no love, only the harsh lessons taught by hunger and isolation. Every fight was a desperate grasp for control.
You know, Majin, after all these years, I've still never watched Ninja Scroll. I have it too, which is the sad part. And I've just never watched it. I have it. '93. Oh, if it feels like playing. I mean, I wasn't actually going to play it, obviously, because it'll just get copyright strike, but...
There!
But I'm telling you, it won't be long with this AI stuff that the like this Metal Gear stuff that I've been playing all night. Eventually, it's gonna look like
fight
this.
monsters like him
It's gonna
again.
be animated like this. I'm telling you.
If you had a choice, my fine young friend, know that they won't leave you alone. You have already killed one of the 8 devils of Timon. Of course, you didn't beat him at all by yourself, as you imagined.
Good-looking guy. Good-looking guy. Maybe I'll watch that tonight. Oh, yeah. Like I said, I had to download this Metal Gear stuff. So I'm telling you, this won't be around for very long. It's going to get taken down, and there's going to be people arguing about copyrights and stuff because it's just too good. This Metal Gear series and the Tekken series that this new channel is doing. The channel's only like 8 months old, I think, was like the oldest video that they had shared. So I had to download it. And I added it to my Plex server, and check this out. I made a poster for it. This whole thing's AI, man. Everything about this is AI. I mean, I put the title on there. I made the poster with or put the logo on it with AI, but or with put the logo on it while I was editing it. This is the future, man. This is the future. I have an anime series on Plex with that's Metal Gear. with an AI made everything's AI made, and everything the poster that I made for it's AI made. They can't stop it, you know? It's like when they were trying to get rid of Napster and LimeWire and Kazaa and stuff. It's they can't stop it. They can't stop it. It's here. It's here, man. But they are 100% going to take this stuff down probably in the next few months because it is just that good. You know, eventually, I think people will stop bitching about it and the copyright laws will get fixed and this stuff will be allowed to exist. But the original content that innovates it, like this Metal Gear stuff, here we go. This is one of the thumbnails. Thumbnail for the second episode. This stuff is going to... Unfortunately, this is just the way things go. This is going to get lost to time. So that's why I went and saved all of it. It's going to be the first casualties, you know? It's too new, it's too cutting edge, it's too ahead of its time. It's going to get taken down by legal action, and then no one's ever going to find it again. It's the same reason for years. I've been buying external hard drives and ripping things and keeping things and downloading things for movies and TV shows, and people said I was crazy. They're like, Swamp, why would you do that? You can just watch it on Netflix. Like, are you sure about that? Are you sure? Or are you retarded? Because pretty soon, you're not going to be able to watch any of this stuff. And what I meant at the time is that it just won't be available anymore because people will, they'll stop streaming it or they'll stop, you won't be able to buy hard copies of it anymore. But it turns out that actually I was even more right than I knew because now they go back and edit things and cut things out for woke leftist ideologies. They remove things like the scene in the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire where they remove the thing about him saying, did your husband make you that or whatever? They cut that scene out on the streaming services now. So actually, I was right on two fronts. Yeah, you got to download it, or if something comes out like any of your old favorites, you got to buy the physical copy and rip it and put it onto a backup drive. I mean, at this point, I've been hauling around with me since like, I don't know, maybe 2010. Just like, thankfully now you've got external hard drives that can have like 10 terabytes on it, and they're not that much bigger than your phone. But back in the day, man, back in the day, I haul around boxes full of these like hard drives that, you know, you got a box and it's lucky you got a terabyte in that motherfucker. But I've got it all, though. I've got it all. The unedited, it's like when I first started seeing them doing the Disney was editing their old movies. I've got some old Disney stuff, you know, on Laserdisc and DVD and VHS. But they did release most of it in a 1080p, you know, Blu-ray edition before they started cutting things up. So I just went on a rampage and said, I gotta go out to all over the internet and find the pirated downloads. No, I would never do that. That never happened. That never happened. I never did that. But if I was a smart man, I would have, and I didn't because I'm an idiot. But if I was a smart man, I would have gone out and when I noticed they started editing these movies, I would have gone and found all of the Blu-ray versions and found a way to download them so I could have them before those were no longer available, which I would never do because that's illegal. And I don't ever do anything that's illegal. Or even really anything that would upset the Disney Corporation, because if there's one thing worse than committing a federal crime, it's pissing off the Disney organization, the company, because they'll come after you. They'll commit a federal crime, you go to prison. Disney, you just disappear. It's over. Your whole family's gone at that point. What was that movie? It was I think it was E.T. that Spielberg had edited the end of E.T. to remove the guns because guns are bad or something. And he finally now, years later, has said, oh, yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that. Yeah, the guns. He removed the guns because guns are bad, man. Guns are bad. I wonder if you can find, let me look up on YouTube if you can find I'm sure someone's put up the edited scenes being played side by side, right? I'm sure somebody has. One of the earliest examples of that, and God, how stupid. How stupid. E.T. gun, gun removal scenes or something like that. Oh, here we go. Guns to radios. Here we go. Somebody did it as a side. Of course, that's the internet used to be very useful, and it has become less useful over time. But here we go. Replace the weapons with CGI walkie-talkies. Okay, let me full screen it. Dude, this is so retarded. It's like not even, you can't even tell. God, oh my God. This is what happens when your brain becomes a homosexual communist. Oh my God. And what's even more ridiculous is like, well, these are police though. I mean, even in the leftist worldview, aren't police allowed to have guns? I don't It's not like they decided, well, wait a minute, that whole school shooting scene, you know, where someone comes in and shoots up a bunch of children, that was kind of out of line. Let's get rid of that. It's, yeah, we showed cops with guns. Maybe we should edit that out. And if you can't see, let's compare it because it's hilarious. Let's zoom it in. This is Majin. This is what your super chats get you. This is, we're doing the high tech. We do the work, so you can really see it. Versus the shotgun on the right. Wow, yeah, that's right here. Saving lives. Saving lives. Game changer. Could you imagine if in the 80s someone had to actually see the shotgun? Oh, wait, they did? Ah, crap. Wait. I'm sorry. I'm cracking up because I didn't realize. Wait a minute. Actually, keep it full screen so you can see it. This is on the Scarlett O'Hara YouTube channel. What? Obviously not official, but it's funny. Scarlett O'Hara. I like how the top comment on this is, I was a 90s kid growing up, so E.T. was a bit before my time. I always thought South Park was just joking. Good Lord. Oh, hey, look. It says Swamp is live right now. What is that asshole doing? Will it break the space-time continuum if I pull up my stream on the stream?
This bathroom's so
Oh, there's an
musty.
ad. Holy shit. Wow. Oh, there's wow. It keeps going. No, we're going to see it. We're going to see an endless loop of ads. No. God, no. I'm sorry. Oh, man. Oh, wow, look at that. We got the swamp stream on the swamp stream on the swamp stream. Man. AI never accounted for this.
Hold up. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3.
Went to see my little gal, sweet darling little miss. Yeah. Went down to her caravan, we began to hug and kiss. The moon shone high above us and stars was hanging low. When I went to kiss that gal, her man walked through the door. He caught us doing it. He caught us doing it. He caught us doing it. He caught us making love. Me and my gal went on one night, we were walking through a park. Feeling seemed to hit me to kiss her in the dark. Wrapped her arms around me, pressed her lips to mine. A big policeman shining
Oh, I just
light
clicked on
and
this.
said
I,
when he
don't,
went by,
I just saw it and I was like, yeah, let's click on this.
he caught us doing it. He caught us doing it. Oh, he caught us making love.
It's definitely got a King Strang vibe. It's King Strang for sure. You know what's kind of funny though is why did she actually buy a Sabian symbol for a washboard? That just seems bonkers to me. What a waste of money. Not that the symbol's not nice, but it's just like, wow. Why would you do that? I mean, the washboard stuff I have, you just like find random things and tape it to it and screw it to it and drill it to it, and that's what a weird. Seems totally bizarre to me. All right, Majin, you heading out? I was debating. It's like, are we going to keep streaming, or are we going to call it? Because if we're going to keep streaming, I'm going to have to change the thumbnail and the title, because I don't want to. I don't want false advertising. Yeah, I guess we'll keep it we'll keep it chill. And by that I mean I guess we'll call it. I don't think there's anything else that I want to show. That AI thing was, and that blew my mind. Oh, speaking of which, here, this will be a good way to end it. This is the stuff that I was talking about, where this new, somebody actually editing and creating, using AI voices and stuff to make the Metal Gear thing and make a series episodes out of it, is the new iteration of this. And this one's obviously been viewed a lot. It's the Jetsons 1950s Super Panavision 70. So this is all, obviously AI. Where's the full screen? All right.
Blast off into the sky-high cityscape of the future with the Jetsons, where tomorrow's dreams meet today's family adventures. Journey to Orbit City, where buildings soar and cars fly, all powered by the push of a button. Meet George Jetson, the well-meaning family man who works at Spacely's Space Sprockets. George navigates the complexities of 21st century life with a comical clumsiness that only a Jetson can achieve. His wife, Jane, manages their futuristic home with a gentle hand and an eye for the latest space-age fashion. Their children, Judy and Elroy, fill their days with hoverboard escapades and cosmic school projects, each day a new adventure in the world of tomorrow. And let's not forget Astro, the family's lovable dog.
Apparently
whose playful
Scooby-Doo.
antics are beloved by
Looks like
families
Scooby-Doo.
across the galaxy. Fly with the Jetsons as they tackle the universal trials of family life with humor, heart.
But you see what I'm saying is so there's been a bunch of these. I mean, I'm sure the related videos. Yeah, if you look at the related videos, there's a whole bunch of these. The Flintstones 1950s, Incredibles 1950s, Sailor Moon Actually, I want to watch that one.
In a world cloaked in shadows where the stars whisper secrets and the moon holds mysteries untold, comes a tale of courage, love, and justice. Welcome to the enchanting realm of Sailor Moon. Meet Serena, a bright-eyed girl with a heart as big as the moon itself. But little does she know her destiny awaits her written in the stars, with her trusty companions by her side.
Anyway. Yeah, Lawbulb, I don't think I've seen the one that you're talking about for the AI generator. Wait, you said Big Willie? No, I haven't seen that one. I've seen some of the other ones where. Are you sure the one that you're talking about is an AI generator, or is it like a random music generator? Because I've seen some AI music generators where you like pick styles and tempos, and you can pick the key and the style of instruments and the feel of it, and it generates a bunch of different things. I've not seen that one though, so I'm not sure what that one is. But yeah, what I was saying is that this stuff is like the
fierce
early
and fiery
version.
Sailor Mars, the cool and collected Sailor Mercury, the elegant and graceful Sailor Venus, the mighty and courageous Jupiter, and the mysterious Tuxedo.
I mean, that stuff was already really cool, but to see what this new channel, what was it, lore or something rather? You know, I'm terrible with that stuff. You know, having a brain and remembering things. But for the Metal Gear stuff, the Metal Gear stuff is just the next level. It's the next gen. It's the next iteration. It's taking it forward. Lore Smith, that's what it is. Really actually putting a story on it and giving it something that's a story that people know too. You know, like it's interesting. I mean, I really think by the end of the year, this stuff
Okay, so what's my primary objective?
is going to be actually animated. Like it's going to look like anime. It's going to be actually
First,
moving.
Gather intelligence on Metal Gear. If possible, find and rescue Gray Fox. He holds key information.
Yes, sir. If he's alive, I'll find him and bring him home. And if I encounter this Metal Gear?
Assess the situation. Engage only if you're certain you can.
I mean, there's just something about, like I keep saying, about him using the music. Oh, I didn't mean to click on the next episode, but it doesn't matter. And you can see in the description, he shows all the music because it's also brilliant in that he's using these remakes and remixes of the original soundtrack too. So it's not just the original soundtrack. It's also like redone versions of the original soundtrack. Like combining that with the new anime generated thing. I don't know. There's a lot of AI haters out there who say that none of this is art, man. This is all stupid. Yeah. Well, you're also probably the asshole who said, why are they, or you would have been the asshole who said, why are they releasing records, vinyls? Then now they don't have to hire musicians. They can just get vinyls. Or the asshole before that who said, they won't hire musicians because they started printing sheet music. Now people can just read the sheet music. And well, why do you need to hire musicians? There's always been retards. This train has left the station. There's no changing this. Let's go back. Let's see. I don't know if I can provide you with that Sailor Moon. Let's see.
In a world cloaked in shadows where the stars whisper secrets and the moon holds mysteries untold, comes a tale of courage, love, and justice.
Well, the channel is called Warden Cinematics. There you go. So you're more than welcome to look that up. Yeah, it's like saying that I only watch hand animated cells, and it's like, do these people, the people who get upset about this AI stuff, not understand that there hasn't been actual animation in like the purest form of like people drawing and like page frame by frame? That hasn't existed in like 20 years. In the way that it's a great Stone Toss comic where he's got the photographer who's looking at the guy with AI and he's like, oh yeah, AI art. That's not really art. It's just a machine making something. And he's a photographer and turns around and uses his camera to take a picture of a bug on a leaf. I mean, it's a brilliant. Stone Toss does a good job. Let's see if I can find that. Oh, here we go. Yep, this is it. It's so true. Fuck you, Reddit. I don't care about Reddit. Reddit. I'm not even going to show Reddit on my screen because I hate Reddit so much. Son of a bitch. Fine. I'll find a different place to find it. Oh my gosh. Why is this only available on Reddit? Okay, well, whatever. Oh, this isn't even the real one. It's an edited one. Well, son of a bitch. Get out of here with your Stone Toss edits. Wow, the thumbnail versus the post is different. No wonder I hate Reddit. Ah, finally. Finally. Check out this AI art I made. Yeah, you mean a machine made. And then that. It was a long way for me to go to get us there, but it is true. It's a good comic. It's a pretty decent commentary. Vic, what are you talking about? I recently got into Stone Toss. What planet are you on, brother? Recently as in the last trillion years. Actually, here, let me put on my Stone Toss hat. There you go. Actually, I've been a Stone Toss enjoyer for a long time. Yeah, I think that's it. I was gonna... My only plan was to watch Metal Gear, so we've done that. I already scheduled out because why not? Tomfoolery Tuesday, and then I'm gonna do a stream and try to find... What is it? Is it on Thursday for the debate? Yeah, it's on Thursday, the 27th. I'm going to try... you never know. It's always hard to find something that actually streams because I'm not going to pay for a damn thing. And then they're always weird about... Even if they show it for free on CNN, like YouTube, then they're weird about who can restream it, react. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I'll see you guys definitely on Tuesday, and then we'll try to make the next debate work, or the first debate. We'll find out. Though I think that honestly, almost any time I ever stream anything, I could just call it tomfoolery, and that would be correct. All right, you guys. Thanks for hanging out. If you did not go subscribe to Loresmith, the person who made that Metal Gear anime thing, you definitely should check it out, since they do Tekken, and I assume they're going to do other stuff. It's only like 8 months old, that channel is, and they've already got like I don't know, 23,000 subscribers or something, which is amazing because they're doing great work. Check them out. I'll see you on Tuesday. I wish there was a shortage of tomfoolery, and I'd have to really dig to find something, but there's not. There's a lot out there. You know, Lawbulb, I don't know who made that joke initially, but I've seen it everywhere, and I very much enjoy it. It's a good joke. It's a good joke. All right, you guys. I'll see you on Tuesday.